Hi, my name is John Hernandez, and today we're going to talk about the OverDrive Binary Cam System. What we want to do is we want to clarify what you can do with this system. One of the main things we want to point out is that right out of the box, these bows are going to shoot phenomenally. But what we really want to do is go into how an authorized pro shop can take this bow and really understand what they can do as far as turning problems off and on, or just really fine tuning it so you get the utmost performance out of the bow. So we're going to break this down into 4 really easy steps to follow. You got rough set timing, rough set cam lean, then we're going to do a finalized timing and a finalized cam lean, which you're going to do at the same time with paper tuning. Step 1 is rough set timing. Now what that means is I've just put string and cables on this bow, and I'm looking for where the cables are running through the cams top and bottom in relationship to the timing marks. We're going to put this bow in the press, and I can tell just by observation here that they're a little bit off, so we're going to show you what we need to do to get those right. So as we've stated, the timing marks are off on this bow once we put the new string and cables on. This particular setup here, this cable needs to be shortened, which means twisted up so we can advance the cam, and this is what our rough set timing needs to look like. Right between the 2 timing dots. And again, we're going to do that top and bottom. Here's the other scenario you'll run into. You can see that this cam is too advanced. The cable is actually below your timing marks. So what you need to do here is you actually need to take twists out of your bus cable, which will put you right into your rough set timing. So step 2 is rough set cam lean. Now here's what sets the OverDrive Binary Cam System apart from any cam system on the market. Having the ability to control the string movement left and right. So what you're trying to achieve by rough set cam lean is allowing the string to run right through the center of the bow. The OverDrive Binary Cam System is the only one that can really do that. So there's 2 methods to do rough set cam lean. Here's a couple of tools that you're going to use. One, an arrow shaft. The other one, using a laser system. Both of them, you're going to be using the cam as a reference to tell you which direction you need to twist up the cables to get this cam to lean. So using the arrow shaft as one of our methods to check and see how this cam is leaning, we're actually going to take the shaft, put it up against the cam, and what we're looking for is the relationship between the arrow shaft and the string. On this particular setup, we actually want this cam leaning slightly this direction where the arrow shaft is going to contact in the center serving here. So as I lay it on here, using the cam as a foundation, there's actually a distance as we follow it up between the shaft and the string. So now what I know I need to do is twist up this left side cable, and that'll actually get this cam coming this direction. Second method is using a laser. Now we're going to use the opposite side of the cam, the power side where your module is at. Again, I'm setting this laser on the surface of the cam. It's going to shine up, and we're using the opposite end of the bow as a reference mark. Now you can see right here that as I turn this laser on, this string stop is impeding it. So I've already taken the liberty of loosening this up. I'm going to turn it counterclockwise. Now as I'm using this surface of the cam here as a reference point, the laser is actually shining up and hitting the opposite cam. So what this tells me is that this cam is actually what we'd call 2 straight. What it would do is it would allow a left string movement through the shot. The sweet spot on this is having this laser hit the opposite limb right at its tip, right on the corner. So step 3 is finalized timing. Now what we're doing is when we draw the bow back, we're actually looking for the draw stops to hit each bus cable at the same time. If you remember in step 1 we did the rough set timing. We were looking for the orientation of the cable running between the timing marks. So we got that set in, then we did our cam lean, but when you do cam lean, you're twisting up your split harness here. And technically what that does is it changes the length of your entire cable to some degree. So on this finalized timing, we're going to draw the bow back and see how much that length affected the draw stops coming and hitting at the same time when you hit full draw. So one important tip that we want to point out here is we actually use a draw board to check our finalized timing. Now, the reason it's important to use a draw board or a mechanism like this is that you can actually really control the movement of the string, and you're able to watch very closely top and bottom again. Some people will use a hand scale or maybe a spring scale attached to the wall. They're very inaccurate and they can be dangerous. So again, this draw board, you're going to be able to tell how it really allows us to control a slow draw in this bow. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm going to stop at whatever draw stop is hitting first. Again, I'm stopping the drawing on this draw board, and I'm going to monitor which draw stop is hitting first. Now in this particular case, you remember we added some twist to the split bus, which I indicated changes the overall length. And on the bow that we're working on today, I can tell that on the bottom cam, this draw stop is actually hitting the cable first. I'm at full draw. And the top cam is actually away from the cable about 1/8 of an inch. Now, here's what you do in finalized timing. Whichever draw stop is hitting first, that's the cable that you want to make the adjustment on. And again, this one is hitting first, so I'm going to actually shorten the cable or add twist. And what that does is it actually advances the cam, and so now when I go through and make that adjustment and I draw again, it should be in time with the top cam and they'll hit at the very same time. We're in our final step, and that's Finalized Cam Lean. Now if you remember in step 2, we did a rough set, and that's going to get you close, but what we're going to do now, before we do any adjustments or anything, we're going to shoot through paper and get a confirmation on what this bow is doing. That'll tell us what we need to do in terms of twisting, left if it's a tail left, or right if it's a tail right tear. So I got a tail left tear here at this shot. Now, here's where we get to point out the OverDrive advantage. By having a split bus top and bottom on this cam system, it gives us the ability to take these tears out. Now what a lot of people will do at this point is they'll actually move their rest in and out. Getting back to the advantage of this cam system is I've already set this rest and center shot. Now for a tail left tear, this cam system gives me the ability to twist up the left side split bus top and bottom, and I can in essence move this string over to the right and clean that tear up. And it's the exact opposite if you get a tail right tear. You would twist up your top and bottom right split bus and move the string the opposite direction. Very easy to get this cleaned up. So with the tail left tear that we had, we took the liberty of adding a twist and a half top and bottom to the left side bus. Again, you want to mirror those adjustments. Whatever amount of twist you put on the top, you want to put it on the bottom, and we did it on our left side. Perfect. That's the OverDrive advantage. To summarize what we covered today, step 1 is rough set time, step 2 is rough set cam lean, step 3, finalized time, step 4, finalized cam lean. Now with the OverDrive Binary Cam System, what we want to point out is that you're able to get a perfect tune with your rest and center shot every single time. That's the OverDrive advantage.